I'm Michelle MacDonald, and I'm running for Minnesota Supreme Court Justice. I'm the best candidate for the Supreme Court because I'm not afraid to speak out about the corruption in our court system and the need to end legal tyranny and restore justice for all. For 33 years, I have represented thousands of people with legal challenges before hundreds of judges at every level: district court, appellate court, Minnesota Supreme Court, and petitions to the United States Supreme Court. For 22 of those years, I served as a conciliation court, small claims court judge, and as adjunct referee in family court. Inspired by my clients, I had a calling to abolish court for families altogether and founded Family Innocence, a nonprofit dedicated to keeping families out of court and resolving conflicts and injustices peacefully, where I'm volunteer president, mediator, restorative circle facilitator, and trainer. My experiences have led me to believe that eradicating judicial corruption should be the highest priority for an elected official. If elected to the Minnesota Supreme Court, I pledge to eradicate judicial corruption, ensure judicial integrity, and restore our rights to access to the courts, due process, and a fair trial as required under the Constitution and the rule of law. Courts need to be places where people can speak and be heard without fear. If a person feels heard, that person is more apt to accept a decision. This past year, I developed and taught a restorative justice circle mediation training designed to restore relationships of all kinds through the use of restorative circles, to include be still moments, listening exercises, a talking piece, and a peacemaking dialogue. The close of each session features agreed actions. In the restorative circle, all participants can speak one-on-one until they are fully heard, not just the words, but the meaning. What I have seen in court leads me to believe that the Supreme Court has an obligation to involve itself in community and restorative practices. What the public doesn't know is that the Supreme Court does a lot more than issue rulings. It makes the rules and allocates the budget that determines how all of our Minnesota courts operate. As justice, I would urge the Minnesota Supreme Court to require more community and restorative justice practices at all levels of the Minnesota's court system. As your Minnesota Supreme Court Justice, I will protect your fundamental rights by eliminating the bureaucracy and making certain that the Constitution is upheld in the judicial branch to restore faith and justice for all. Thank you for your vote, and I look forward to serving as your Minnesota Supreme Court Justice.